For the next 365 days, I'm going to be training like I'm a PGA Tour professional. No, I'm not doing this because I think I have the opportunity to get on tour or win the Mid-Am or something incredibly difficult like that, but more like what would an average Joe get out of actually going to the gym, getting his mental game right, practicing religiously. How much can that improvement happen over a 1 year period? The reason that I'm documenting this is because, hey, maybe in a year or two after I'm continuously doing this, you're able to take a look at this and reflect and say, hey, he tried this, it didn't work. He tried that, it didn't work. Or actually, I really like that. I'm going to actually try that. So the idea here is that I don't really know how the next 365 days are going to go, but I think by putting it on camera and actually showing people what it takes to get to a certain position, you know, you might be able to apply some of this to your own life and to your own golf game. So for a little bit of context, I played 83 rounds in 2025. We started out at a 7.7 handicap, got down to a 6.6, unfortunately got soft capped at a 9.7 by the end of the year. About midway through the season, I got up to a weight of 222 pounds, and that's kind of when my game fell apart, was that I was the biggest I'd ever been. And honestly, I started taking training and getting into the gym a heck of a lot more seriously. And I think with the improvements I was making at the gym and having physical body changes, my golf game fell apart just a little bit because I wasn't practicing or having dedicated ideas of what I should be doing. That's what ends up leading me here. I want to continue to be in the gym. I want to continue to work on my golf game. There's going to be a lot of physical changes, a lot of mental changes, swing changes, and things that go along with this. And I want to document it just so that, you know, I can look back over the next couple months and see where I was. You can take this out onto the course and maybe apply some of this to your game. And hey, this is just all an experiment at the end of the day. I'm going to be splitting this year up into 4 major sections. The first one is going to be the rebuild. January to the end of March, we are training really hard. We are practicing a lot. We are making sure that we get into the best physical and swing shape that I can possibly get into going into the golf season. In stage 2, we're going to polish the game. We're going to be from the beginning of April through the end of May, finally getting out on the course on a regular basis, understanding what the game looks like outdoors, and we'll be able to take a little bit of the info that we receive back and apply some changes to it and get my game into a really good spot where it needs to be. The third phase is going to be the grind. It's just going to be from June all the way through the end of the season, end of October, early November, where we are just going to, whatever we have to at that point, rely on all of the 6 months before that and just get the golf ball in the hole as fast as physically possible and not make any boneheaded mistakes and really rely on all of the training that we've been doing. Stage 4 will kind of be where I'm at now. It's the reassessment. We're going to look at the game and just assess what needs to go into 2027. So not a whole lot at the end of the year, but it's going to be snowy and cold where I live in the Northeast. So there's really not much you can do at that point anyway. At this point, I do want to say, if you could please like and subscribe this video, come along for the journey for this year. I'm really going to be trying to do bi-weekly updates, giving all of the information I possibly can just so that you can learn from some of the stuff that I'm working on and maybe improve your game at the same time. At the end of the day, if you're not tracking and understanding where your game is getting better or worse, there's really not any point into doing it because mentally you're not going to be able to recall that 6, 8, 10 months from now. So let's take a look at exactly how I'm going to be measuring my game to see if I'm improving at all. Obviously, the first one we're going to take a look at is handicap. We're just going to try and plot that out throughout the whole season. It's not the best metric because you can have bad rounds in between, but if my game is trending in the right direction, hopefully the handicap's able to show that. The second metric is going to be weight and body fat percentage. I currently weigh 183.5 pounds. I'm around 26% body fat, and we're going to try to get as far down as we can. I mean, who knows? I might realize that 26 is where I want to be. I might want to be at 36. I don't think I can get down to 136 pounds, but besides the fact, I'm just going to document how my game feels at each moment, at each body weight, and maybe we see a huge discrepancy in driving distance when I get down another 10 pounds or 20 pounds. So keeping that documentation along the way, we might be able to see there is a sweet spot for where I need to be. Metric number 3, we're going to try and, even through the summertime, do a monthly combine on Trackman. It really is something that defines your game, because if you can't hit a number, it really proves that there are certain things that you do need to work on. So I think doing it at least on a monthly basis, every other week of the bi-weekly that we're doing here, it'll be a really good indicator if my game is exactly trending in the right direction. For metrics 4 and 5, we're gonna do the Performance Center. We're gonna do off the tee, and we're gonna do irons into the greens. Just completely randomized fairways and green locations. And we're gonna put it up against the scratch handicap, and we're just gonna see how well are my numbers looking and strokes gained for off the tee and for into greens. And each month and each week that we plot that out, we should hopefully start to see some improvement. And the sixth one really comes down to the short game. I need to build a wedge ladder with my 54, my 60, 54 open, and my 60 open, because being able to, again, putting the ball where you need it to be is so important in golf, especially with these short wedges, because the closer you get to the hole, obviously the closer the putt is and makes it easier. So at the end of the day, I'm really doing this because I want to help myself. I want to help you. I think that packaging it in this way of just trying to do it as performance-based at the beginning of the season, we will start to make some new metrics as I start to play, because I'm not going to be on Trackman that often during the season. I'm going to be playing a lot more. But I think this is a really good position to start out with, and then throughout the season, see how this rolls. And, you know, maybe the training is hurting, and maybe I need to do training on certain days, but that's the whole point of this. It's an experiment. We want to see where we end up and how this is going to work. And I think the easiest way to do that is just to document it on a bi-weekly basis and show you exactly what I'm doing to improve my game. Thanks for being here. Like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel if you do all that. And let's see where my golf game ends up by the end of 2026. But again, 365 days training like a PGA Tour professional. And we'll see how this goes. I appreciate you for being here. Thanks.